I've had a hell of a week. Lucky you, because I've had a heck of a last couple months. Can we talk about it? Let's talk about it today. I want to make sure we are diving right into all the good stuff. A heck of a week versus a heck of a few months. Let me know, where do you associate with? Did you have a heck of a week? Did you have a heck of a few months? Let me know in the comments. In today's Monday Momentum, I want to talk to you about one thing, which is mindset. And yes, I know you're probably thinking, not another one. Don't worry, I don't like the fluffy stuff either. I like actionable stuff that actually makes sense from a logical standpoint. So if you're with me on that, let's talk mindset today. Your mind is your key to success. Yes, sounds so cheesy, but you know it's true. Your mind's in the right spot, you're doing really well. Agreed? Let me know in the comments. So when you have this difficulty that you're trying to overcome, our mind plays a huge, huge role. This market, it shifted. You feel it, I feel it. It takes more effort, right? However, in a shifting market, we also have marketing efforts that are determining the results you're getting. What are the results you're getting? I want to talk a little bit about the shifts we have experienced. One of the recent ones was the market in 2020. Agents that actually leaned into that shift were the ones that got ahead. Would you agree? The people that pulled back and said, oh, I don't know what's happening, let me pull back, they did not gain as much market share. Same for 2007, 2008. People that leaned in and became REO agents, they were actually going to get more market share. They were listing the properties and they came out ahead. So where's all of this coming from? After a week, I've had a heck of a week. I had a conversation with an agent, and after I had, shared some of the things I went through, she said, I'm so, you're so lucky because I've had a heck of a couple months. And it got me thinking, what happened the week before? Was I even considering what happened the week before? Because frankly, I wasn't. I simply turned the page and said, new week, new me, let's go after it again. And that was when I realized something up there is ticking differently. So today, I want to reveal to you who we have coming into our mastermind. So if you're not part of the mastermind, you are in for such a treat. And then I want to talk to you about some of the things I stumbled upon. One of them is a video. It's a life coaching video. It's about 5 minutes long. I'm going to go ahead and share it. In that video, just a quick overview. What it does, it explains why circumstances are never the reason why you do or don't do what it is. Circumstances just are, right? They're factual. It is what it is. And it goes into the whole process explaining. Let me actually see if I can pull up that little screenshot I took. I took a screenshot this morning. Let me share that. And you tell me if you can see this one. Everybody can see it, right? So this is what this video is talking about. It talks about your circumstances, it talks about the thoughts, it talks about the feelings, the actions, and then the results. And if you've never seen it, like, come on back to me right now, right? Like, I want you to be so present for 5 minutes. Yes, present for 5 minutes. I know it might be a little hard. I know there's a lot going on, but if you can just give me 5 minutes this morning, you will find this video so revealing, enlightening, and really starting to make sense. And then I want to give you an example of a message I saw this morning and how it relates to exactly this part here. One favor, I want you to tag a friend that's in real estate that you want this to see, because if you care about your real estate friends right now, they need to see this, believe me. Our mindset is all we got to work on right now. Yes, there's stuff out there, there's market stuff that we need to do, but your mind is important. So let me share this video again. It's a 5-minute video, and I promise it is the best 5 minutes you will spend all day on a Monday. I know, big statement. But let's go ahead. Let me find this video, and it's a model by Brooke Castillo. Let me make this big so you can see it. Listen in on this one.
I've read all the self-help books, and what I realize is they teach you 5 things. I'm going to tell you what they all are so you don't have to read any of the books. The first thing they teach you is that there are things in the world you can't control and that you need to accept them. There are circumstances in the world that you can't control. The second thing that they teach you is that your attitude matters. What you think matters, and you should think positively. Just mind your mind, think positive thoughts. The third thing that they teach you is that you have to feel your feelings. You have to find out what your feelings are, and you have to feel them. Now, this is important because if you don't feel your feelings, you end up drinking a lot. You end up eating a lot. You end up overworking. You end up over Facebooking, right? Because you're trying to avoid feeling any kind of emotion. The fourth thing that they teach you is that you have to take action. Stop procrastinating. Go take action in the world. And the last thing that they teach you is that you should set big goals, right? You should create big results in your life, possible goals in your life. I studied all those things and I started applying them to my life. My life started getting better and better and better. But here's what it was. It was like I was over here feeling my feelings. I was like, okay, yes. And then I'd go over here and I'd be like, I'm going to set a big goal for myself. And then I'd go over here and I'd be like, think positive, think positive, think positive. And then I'd set the goal and then I'd go after the goal and then I'd feel terrible. And then I'd come back here and try and feel my feelings because I felt terrible. And then I tried to think new thoughts and I was all over the place. And then one day I was driving in my car listening to Byron Katie, who's one of the authors that I love. And she said, because your thoughts create your feelings. I was like, what? I did not know this. I did not know that my thoughts created my feelings. I thought all these things were separate. And so all of a sudden I was like, wait a minute. All these feelings that I've been practicing feeling, I can change them if I change what I'm thinking. What else don't I know? So I went back and I took those 5 things and I tried to figure out how do they all go together. Circumstances, these are the things we can't control, remember? This is what I figured out. All these things we can't control trigger our thoughts. Now think about this, you guys. All of the circumstances, everything out there in the world means nothing. It doesn't cause us any feelings or anything until we have a thought about it. We make it mean something, right? Then we have thoughts, and then our thoughts cause our feelings. Our feelings drive our actions, and our actions create our results. So this became my self-coaching model. When I started figuring out how everything went together, what I realized is that there's nothing in the world that isn't one of these things. There is nothing that doesn't fit into the model. So any problem we want to solve, we just put it in the model. So I started teaching this. I started applying it to myself. Everything happened twice as fast because I knew if I wasn't getting the result I wanted, it was because I wasn't taking the right action. If I wasn't taking the right action, it's because I wasn't feeling the right feeling and I wasn't having the right thought. Nothing had to do with my circumstances. That's what most of us think. We think it's our circumstances that are causing everything. So once I figured this out, I felt like I figured out the secret to the universe, honestly. And then I started working with my clients using this model, and everything started changing for them too. So if you think about the problems that you just presented, let's think about where we would put them. I have too many plates spinning in the air. Where do we put that one? Action. That's what you're doing. Stop it. It's an action that we're doing. Every action is a choice. This we can't control. We can control every other thing. The circumstance line always has to be factual. So you can't have any adjectives or any descriptors there. So you have to say exactly how many leads you have in that line. 100 leads. Now, what we think about those 100 leads is going to determine our result. So if we think, oh, I don't have enough leads, I can't get enough leads, and then we feel sorry for ourselves, and then we watch Netflix, and then we get no more leads. This is so important that you understand the difference between a circumstance and a thought, because so many of us take our marketing way too personally. We go out there and do something in the world and we don't get enough leads or we don't get enough conversions, or we make it mean something terrible about us, or we make it mean the internet doesn't work or that marketing doesn't work, and we go hire someone else and try something else. So make sure you're really careful about what's happening here. So here's what I'm going to show you as we go through this. I'm going to show you how you see what you're currently doing Like you could look at your result right now and you could trace it back to your own thinking every single time. Okay, so if you're currently making $100,000, it's because of what you're thinking. If you're currently making $10 million, it's because of what you're thinking. And I'm going to show you exactly how that is. I created this, and so I started thinking, wait a minute, if this really works, I'm going to put $1 million in that result line. So my thought was, $1 million is a crazy amount of money. So then I did 1 million because I changed my thought. So then I decided, wait a minute, let's just put 10 million in there. And now I've decided that 100 million, I'll put 100 million in there. Now here's what happened. As soon as I said I want to make $100 million in the result line, and I started talking about making 100, I started telling y'all about it, right? So now my thoughts are all about $100 million. So I've normalized it in my own brain. So now I start thinking like a person who's creating $100 million thinks. There's no doubt in my mind that I will be up here one day telling you all how to make $100 million a year. So fun, right? You have to understand this for yourself.
All right, this is by far one of the most amazing videos that I think you can watch on a Monday morning. And again, it goes back to, she said the leads. Her example was leads. I want to give you the example of Easter. I just got a message in that says, hey, I can't do anything for Easter because Easter is next weekend. Easter is next weekend. This is a fact. The fact is Easter is next weekend. The thought and the feeling that you cannot get anything out and done for Easter, that's your thought. That's the thought that creates your feeling of how you feel about it, which determines your action. Oh, I don't want to do it, which gives you the results. You're not going to get the results. Does that make sense? Like, this is something that I think all of us are looking for, that, magic, excuse, bullet, whichever one you call it, but this is why, right? So what are you thinking? What are you telling yourself? What is happening in your own mindset that is determining your action? Again, she gave the example of 100 leads, right? 100 leads, fact. But how do you feel about the leads? Oh, they're looky-loos, they're not really ready, and then you feel like you don't have enough leads. But that's not where it started, right? Now you don't feel like you have enough leads, which now gives you into, I don't have to follow up with them anyhow, which then makes you stop doing the things you're supposed to do, which then leads to what? No results. But especially this procrastination mindset is where people just really need to look at it. Easter is next week. Do you still have time to do something for Easter? Today is Monday. You have 5 days. 5 days to make something happen. Now, if you tell yourself you feel a certain way about these 5 days, that is your thought. That's how you feel about the thought of like, oh, it's 5 days. That's not a lot of time. How do you feel about it? You feel stressed out about it. You feel like there's not enough time to get things done, which then means, oh, I'm not going to work on anything because there's not going to be enough time anyhow. And then the results aren't there. Circumstances, thoughts, feelings, actions, results. It is mind-blowing what can happen when you actually are taking an objective approach to this mindset stuff. Now, developing a strong mindset is not something you wake up with and you're born with. Most often not, at least. I don't think I've met any person that was born with a strong mindset. Strong-willed children, for sure, but developing a strong mindset takes work, and it's a lot of work. You wake up and there is, a little devil on the shoulder sitting there, and you're like, hey, you can't do it. You're not good enough. And why would anybody listen to you? And why does this matter? And then there's a little angel, right, that says like, come on, you can do it. I believe in you. However, it's always like in the background. So I want to make sure that you're really focusing in on what is it that can be done about your own mindset. How are you developing your mindset? What are you actively doing? Because if you're not doing anything actively, but you're expecting all these amazing results to follow, did you just set yourself up for failure? Did you just set yourself up to fail? Which we don't want that. You work too hard for everything you have. So let's work on that mindset, develop that mindset. And that is exactly why I want to bring that to you in April. The third point I want to talk to you about is the reason that sometimes we need somebody else to show it to us visually. Sometimes we need to have somebody else to explain it to us differently. Sometimes we just need another person being like, here's what it is. Again, I listened to Brooke Castillo and I looked at this and said, yeah, if my mindset is I can't get anything else done because, Easter is in 5 days, I won't get anything done because my mindset is not right. I'm thinking 5 days is not a lot of time, which my feelings are telling me, oh my goodness, that's not going to work. This is not enough. My actions will not be there, leaving me with no results to show for. And it all started because of one thing, the thought I had about Easter being this weekend. A fact. Nothing good, nothing bad about it. A fact. So go back, watch this movie again, soak it all in. I think it was really the best 5 minutes that you can spend. Now, how can we get access to this entire thing? April, I'm going to devote my April mastermind all into the mindset and not the fluffy stuff, guys. I am not into the fluffy stuff. You just saw the video, very, very factual of this makes sense. It is what it is. This here creates this, creates that. It's step by step and it makes sense. It's not, how do you feel about yourself? And that's not me. And if you've been around me for long enough, you kind of know that I want actionable things that I can see, that I can visualize, and that make sense. And that's exactly what we're doing in April. In April, the mastermind this Thursday is going to talk all about mindset items. I'm going to share with you 5 or 6 stories that have literally brought people from $0 out of the streets into multi-million-dollar businesses. I have for April a special guest that will join me April 11th for a special Q&A session, a 6-figure real estate coach that really is passionate about these things. So if you have any guesses who's going to be our special guest for April, let me know in the comments below. I can tell you I gave you the first, hint. She's a woman. She is a businesswoman. She's an entrepreneur. She's a successful real estate coach. And what is coming your way next week is amazing. The mastermind group will have a special Q&A session with her, and you guys will benefit from watching the first 10 minutes for free inside this group. So make sure you invite your friends. But you really need to be open-minded about getting your mindset right. Your mindset first. Circumstances are what they are, okay? Easter is next week. How do you feel about it? Those are your thoughts that create your feelings. Your feelings create your action or inaction, which then leads to the results. And if you want results, you need to start thinking different things. You need to start thinking like you are already there. And that's the mission for April. I am really excited for April because this market has shifted. This market has left a lot of agents wondering, struggling, and I want to fix that with this coaching session. So go back, watch the 5-minute video. I'm going to link it in the comments. Drop your guess for who do you think is going to be our special guest in April. I am so excited for this. You have no idea. I've been holding that secret in, and I've already told my husband about it and all the things. So let me have your guess. And if you have any, reservation, send me a DM. Like, there shouldn't be anything holding you back from investing into becoming a stronger minded person, because that is what it takes at the end of the day to actually create more deals, get more done, and make it happen. Okay? I'm rooting for you. And if you need anything, I'll see you in the group.